Okay, so for number 32, interesting problems. You know, lots I've gone over transformations. So I'm going to kind of see how I do on this one. All right, so I'm going to give myself a x-ray coordinate plane like this. And the first one's asking me to reflect UVW across the y-axis. So I'm going to just plot the coordinate 2, -2, and reflect across the y-axis. So it comes on this side. And the new coordinate becomes -2, 2. And let's go the other way. Is, for example, I'm going to get over here, -2, -1, and I reflect across over here this way. I'm getting 2, -1. So I'm noticing that the 2's are the only ones, like this 2 and this 2 flip. This -2 becomes a +2. So either way, as we go back and forth, we're flipping the x. Only the x flips. That part is easy. That one's easy. So the x flips means -xy. Okay. How about 90 degrees about the origin? I'm rotating, so that's be a little different. Let's see here. And the reason I'm kind of like might not be as strong as I want to on this one is because it's been such a long time as I've taught this. So let's see what we got here. I'm going to rotate. I'm going to go from this coordinate. And I do it this way because I have that nice 45 degree. So I'm noticing I got -2, 2. And I rotate 90 degrees, I end up over here because it's 90 degrees. Ended up at 2, -2. Okay, so I know the x flips, and so does the y, it flips. Interesting. Well, not 2, -2, is 2, 2. So both of them are positive. So that one flips, but not that one. Huh. Interesting. Okay, let's do another one. You're probably going, whoa, what's going on, Mr. Palomines? He's thinking about this. I don't think about it. It's been I'm doing these like just dry. I haven't done them since like last time I taught geometry was like 10 years ago. This one is 2, -2. Okay, so what am I noticing here? 2, 2. These guys flipped. But these guys didn't flip. Let's do it one more time over here. Now we rotate over. So I got -2, -2. And that's going to be a 2 to -2, a -2 to 2. Interesting rules here. -2 to 2. This stays the same. This flips. This stays the same, but this time it flips. Something's going on here. So same flip. The other one, same flip. So I have a feeling that an x2 and x won't work. Okay, that's just me. Okay, I'm thinking x2 and x doesn't work. Alrighty. So I'm taking this test. I know for rotate, x to an x is not working. Okay, so then let me see. Let me rethink that. So I'm going from here to here, and that's by 90 degrees. -xy, because they're positive, and x negatives. But here, x and y. Is there a flip? Maybe there's this flip. And let's see what happens here. There's got to be something going on with one of these guys. What flipped? The y stayed the same, but the x stayed the opposite. Let me see if that works over here. I do it over here. The x is positive, but the y is negative. And let's see here if I flip it. Dun, that flips. This one flips. That one flips. And I'm looking over here. Is there a y first? It's the only one that has a y. It's not this one. It's not that one. It's not that one. Dude, those don't stay. It's got to be this one, but why? And I think that's going to be my question. So as I'm looking at this test, I know by default this didn't hold. That pattern didn't hold. That pattern didn't hold. It's got to be this pattern, but why? So one more time. Let me try it one more time. Because again, as I'm flipping everything, x and y, x would be positive, and then x would be negative, or x is positive, y is x is negative. But when I go over here, the x's stay the same. So that alternating x's does not work. It's going to have to be a y negative x, but I don't see where. Okay, so here I got x and y. And then it says over here, I gotta go with this one, that the y value, whatever it is here, stays over here. Now it becomes the x, so let's say it's a 2 and a 2, so this becomes a 2 for the, oh yeah, it does hold for the x. But the x, whatever the x is becomes negative over here. Oh yeah, it does hold. But I needed the key, right? But okay, so I know just by trying it out, and I'm literally taking this for the blank. I'm taking this test blank as a teacher. Okay, so again, y, negative 2 is the new x. Yeah, it is. That's negative 2. And then the y, sorry, the x, whatever it is, becomes negative. Yeah, because here it becomes negative 2. This is the pattern that holds. And so that y negative x is the only thing that's going to hold, only because I had to try it out. Rotate, 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 and knowing that none of these are holding. Anything that has the x starting at the front just not holding. So by just me playing around with the formulas, that's the only one that can work. So for me taking this test question, you're gonna have to kind of remember this rule, or do what I did. Just try them out, start rotating, 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 and then see which pattern holds. And for me, the X never held. The X pattern never held. It wasn't a consistent negative flip. It wasn't a consistent no flip. So this didn't hold, which means that neither one of these would be a choice. That definitely didn't hold, which means the one starting with X were not choices. It had to be that one, only because the other three didn't work. That's why I chose it down here. But as I started playing around with the rotation at degrees, I see where it held. That one was easy. This one might be tough, so at least give me 1 point.